Why live in Quispamsis? I live in Quispamsis, and I'm going to tell you why you should live in Quispamsis as well. So, they are the sixth largest municipality in New Brunswick. That's crazy. They have 27 kilometers in trails that you can either walk leisurely, you can hike them. They're all different terrains. So, and they all connect the different neighborhoods. So you can start in on one street, get to the next street, cross over and go to the next street. All on trails. Like all the trails connect. It's crazy. They have some of the best schools, public schools. They have a private school. Fun fact, I actually went to it. From kindergarten to grade 8, I went to that school. I vouch highly for that school. But the public schools are good too. That's kind of why we chose the neighborhood we chose. They also have 3 ice services. So they have 2 indoor ones, one that's year round, and then one that's an outdoor one in the winter, and that's at the town hall. And yeah, they always have free skate going on. They have a multi-purpose recreational facility called the Qplex. So it has an ice arena. They have a swimming pools. They have 2 different ones. And they have water slides, 2 water slides. It's a lot of fun for the kids. And they do swimming lessons there too in the summer. They also have the Moosehead room there that you can rent out for events like weddings, those type of things. They do Christmas markets there as well. And then they have a pickleball tennis court, and they have community gardens there. And they also have trails coming off, and they have soccer fields, and I think a baseball field. It is quite the setup. And then they have a dog park right across the road. The Homestar sponsors. They also have 9 playgrounds. 9. So it's like almost every neighborhood has its own playground. One of the playgrounds has a splash pad. It's called Firefly Playground. And they actually have a splash pad. They have bathrooms, like actual bathrooms. And the water is all recirculated in the splash pad. So it's using the same water over and over, and then they just use chlorine to kill off germs. But I think that's really cool. That's really environmentally friendly and not constantly using new water. And they take really good care of that park. Daycares will often come bring their kids down there in the summer as well, just to hang out in the splash pad, playground, have picnics. It's a really big area. And it's a really quiet street to take your kid there, especially if you're a kid who's a runner. It's a great street because there's like almost no cars. Yeah, so Quispamsis is actually 15 minutes away from the big city. So like my husband drives to 15 minutes every day to work. In the morning around like 7:30, between 7:30 and 8, it takes almost a half hour to get to work. It takes 20 to 30 minutes because of school buses. We don't take the highway because the highways normally there's an accident, it's backed up. So there's an old road you can take called the Rosse Road. And that will take you right to town. And it's probably about, on a good day, it's 15. On the busy mornings, it's about 20, 25, sometimes 30, depending if there's an accident on the highway and everyone decides to take that road. Plus school buses. Like if you can beat the school bus, then you'll get there a little quicker. So we have a library. We have a public library. I'm sorry, I just keep checking my notes. This is a lot of information. So we have a public library. It's actually one of the biggest libraries, I think, between, if you take Quispamsis and St. John and compare them, this one's definitely bigger than the one they have on the east side of St. John, which isn't that big. This one, I believe, is 2 levels, and they have all kinds of books, computers. They have stuff for little kids, little babies, toddlers to do. They also have a bike loan program. So they've been loaning off 2 bikes for 7 days. So you can just borrow the bike for 7 days, return it. It's their green initiative for the environment. So you can tell Quispamsis is very green and very environmentally friendly, or at least they're trying. They also have recycling, curbside recycling, which I love that. And you can put as much cardboard as you want, and they will take it. Some of the neighborhoods are really friendly too. So like the neighborhood I live in is actually doing a block party this Saturday. And they are doing it for the kids. So they're going to have a bike parade. They're going to have different stations. The community's all coming together to do a barbecue, a corn boil, bounce. Everyone pitched in money for a bouncy castle for the kids, prizes, chips, snacks, pop, everything. So those are the type of communities that you're seeing thriving out here. And those are the type of communities I think everyone wants to live in. If we're going to be honest with each other, I want to live in that community. I was just lucky enough to pick that house in that community, not knowing they do block parties. But yeah, sorry, I literally have a list of notes here that I've been trying to go through because it's just so much. So they have restaurants. They have some really good restaurants. Some of them are chain restaurants and some of them are not. You have Cass and Kettle, which is just St. John, and then they expand to Quispamsis. So they are in Uptown St. John is their first restaurant, and then they expanded to Quispamsis. And they have really good food. If we have one pizza joint, we have 5. We have Domino's, Greco, Salvatore. We have Pisano's, I believe it's called. Like if we have one, we have 5. Yeah. Same as Tim's. If we have one Tim's, we have 3 Tim's. But that's okay because everyone loves a good Tim's. We also have one of the lowest crime rates in, I think, Canada. Don't quote me on that. I know it's in New Brunswick, and I think it's in Canada. It is a really low crime rate. It's under the 5%. And you never see anything. If you see anything, it'll be like a drunk driver on a Friday night. Or if you're going to see anything, you're going to see a traffic stop because they're checking people for drinking and driving, which is actually near and dear to my heart. So I'm glad they do that. And the town is still evolving. I have that on my notes. The town is still evolving. So the town is still evolving in the sense that they're still building. They see the need for housing. They see the need that people want to live out here. And there's only so many houses that you can live in. So they're building they've given permits for new houses. They've given permits for even the okay for apartment buildings, for brand new apartment buildings, but they have to be in a certain type of architecture to fit the vibe. Like we have a vibe of small town community. Like they don't want anything too fancy or out of the vibe. So it has to be in the vibe. And it's not easy to get these passed through council. Council's a little stingy on what they allow because they're trying to go for a certain vibe. They have to keep in mind do they need traffic lights? Do they need to fix the road? Do they have enough water supply? Do they have enough? Like there's so many different things that go into it that they're not giving me okay willy-nilly for 36 unit apartment building or 70 unit apartment building or different things like that. They have given the okay for, I think, almost 100 units off of the main road, which is the Hampton Road. They also have another apartment building that's almost built. It actually has underground parking, and that's at the bottom of Clark Road. I'm very curious about what they're going to look like inside when they're done and how much the rent's going to be. I have an idea of what the rent will be, but we'll see if I'm right. Yeah, so let me know if you have any questions. My comment section is always open. Same as my email is always open if you have questions. Yeah, have a good day. Bye.